crowded. So, welcome to the first session. This is why are we here today? This is me introducing. And why are we here today? So, Trust Valley is present at Insomniac since many years now. We are happily part of the EPFL Innovation Park. We are a public-private partnership. So among our founders and co-founders, we have the academia, we have the Canton of Vaud and Canton of Geneva, as well as many corporations that helped us 5 years ago establish the Trust Valley. What we do, we work on digital trust and cybersecurity, making sure that the economic tissue and the whole ecosystem is safe and well aware of the risks, let's say. Among the 50 partners that founded us, there is clearly Fortinet, which is here today, as many others, Kudelski, Elka, and so on. But today, we want to showcase you what our startups do. Why do we do that? We started 5 years ago with a program called Tech for Trust. By the way, we have a stand over there, Trust Valley, Tech for Trust, so any questions are more than welcome. And if you want to join the ecosystem, more than welcome as well. 5 years ago, we started a program called Tech for Trust, in which we wanted to accelerate startups in the domain of digital trust and cybersecurity to make them become a unicorn. We want them to be unicorns. They want to be unicorns, right? So it's a win-win situation. And this is the 5th edition that we reached. In our portfolio now we have 131 startups that we accompanied, that we brought in the last 5 years. This is the 5th season. We have 30 startups participating. Clearly, not all of them could be here today, but we have 6 startups that are on the stand that wait for you to discover what they do. Seed Data, Resilient Tax, Historian, Wakweli, Legapass, and Integrity. But now, on the stage, let me welcome the 4 of them that are pitching their solution to you. Come on, guys. So, you have 1 minute 30. It's going to be really short, but you prepared your pitch. Who has the mic? Antoine, let's start with you. Where should I click? Oh, it's the wrong button. Antoine, let's start with you. Can you tell us something about Wakweli? And then we have a question for you.
Hi everyone, thanks Flavinia. Pleasure to be here and to see this nice room crowded of talented hackers. So we are Wakweli, a nice word from Swahili who means people who tell the truth. And we are a system to fight scammers at scale in a universal way. We are a blockchain and we do certificate of authenticities. Why are we doing this? It's because a thing is happening right now with NFTs. We see all of the bored apes and speculation going on, but this is the transition to the digital property title. In 6 years, you will have equity on the blockchain. You will have real estate, so parts of building, but also tokenized commodities, oil, gold, and it's at least a $16 trillion market, and nothing scales to secure it at this moment. What you have right now, you have blue badges that you cannot get on Twitter, or you pay Elon $15 every month to impersonate Coca-Cola. It's a nightmare. Why? Because it's not 10 people, 100 people somewhere that do that in a compliance team. You need tens of thousands of people. This is why we created this system, completely decentralized, powered by the community, with a new blockchain. And it's a pleasure to be part of the Trust Valley right now on our roadshow to complete the financing round to finish the protocol.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Antoine. So, a couple of questions for you. Can you please tell us what do you mean by secure tokenized future that you mentioned?
Basically, right now, and it's starting the tokenization of assets. So we start to have titles of property for building on the blockchain. And what happens is that people don't understand what it is. And on marketplaces, you have fake titles of property that you buy for the price that they have and that don't represent your ownership on the blockchain. And it's crazy. Like in the state of this market, people get scammed for this asset by not understanding what's happening. And we cannot leave it like this. And this is what we are building, the Wakweli, to secure this tokenized future.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What about Enrico? So, Seed Data. What do you do? Can you tell us something about your solution?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Flaminia. Thanks, everyone. My name is Enrico Faccioli. I'm the CEO and co-founder at CData. Basically, at CData, we plant traps, honeypots, honey tokens inside of our customer systems for early detection. And I guess you're a technical audience. So at some point in time, you might have planted a honeypot, some honey tokens, and I guess you found it pretty hard. It's difficult to create them, especially if you want them to look realistic, difficult to manage them, especially in an enterprise environment, and to get the alerts into the right security workflows. And that's really why we decided to start CData, to make the whole process end-to-end super easy. And this is how it works. We automatically recommend you which decoys you should deploy where. And then you deploy them using either infrastructure as code or as virtual machines or as physical hardware. We analyze all the results. And then we alert you in the right security solutions you're already using. And so, we have a wide range of customers, from small startups to large enterprises like Leroy Merlin, and apologies for my French, that are using us. So if it's interesting, feel free to sign up on our website. We've got a free account, so you can start deploying a bunch of them, or hit me up. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. And you are on the stand. So again, the stand, the Trust Valley and Tech for Trust, you can meet them after. But before, I have a question for you. How did you come up with the idea?
Yeah, pretty straightforward. So it wasn't me, it was my co-founder. He was a CISO for 30 plus years in different enterprises. So he's always been using Deception and Honeypot as part of his security stack, got a lot of value out of it, caught a lot of pen testers, red teamers, attackers, but always felt it really difficult to get the right value at scale, always challenging to deploy, to manage those type of assets. And so we decided to start CData to kind of democratize access, not just for the top 99.9 percentile of organizations out there, but for the wider market. Thank you very much.
Now, Flavian, if you get the mic, why don't with Historian, you are part of the Tech for Trust. You are hosted at the Trust Village, so at our incubator in Geneva. Why don't you tell us something about your solution, and why the purple? Why the violet?
Yeah, thank you for me. Flavia, sure, I was not here, but one of the first Insomniac did the CTF. Went pretty good. So, but then things changed. And I found that there is a big issue now. We have a lot of security companies, good products that are addressing mostly the top 1% of the big companies. Switzerland is comprised of nearly 600,000 enterprises with an average of 5 employees. They have no idea about IT, not about security. So I thought, okay, why don't we do something for them? And instead of doing the best product ever and expensive, let's do something that they can afford, they can understand. So this is what we're building, a platform for all these, small company, that will tell them exactly, what they have to do, with a language they understand. Our website is also available in Romansh. And we want that to be very easy to install and easy to use. That's the real goal behind Historian. And the name comes from, historical data that we keep. So our dashboard will able to show you what you have right now, but you also can go back in time and see a month ago the vulnerability you had, something comprehensible that can be used either by a CEO or, tech analyst like I used to be. But yeah, that's the idea. Why the purple? We talk about red team, blue team. That's us.
Okay. Thank you very much. Just one question for you, probably. So you explained us what's your market and that you're helping SMEs. But what makes your platform, what makes Historian different from your competitors?
Because it's better now. Now we've tackled the problem from the beginning, saying, okay, what do we want nowadays to have a secure platform that is fast, efficient, that can work on legacy systems from the top-notch servers that we have. So we do everything in Rust, and if you are a Rust developer, I'm interested. We try to make something that is very customer oriented, and the customer is not necessarily someone that speak IT.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Flavian.
Thank you.
And now, last but not least, Jim from Resilient X.
Hi everyone, thank you. This is Jim Binia, CEO and co-founder of Resilient X Security. So in Resilient X Security, we essentially provide an end-to-end cyber resilience platform. We have one solution for small and medium enterprises, which is a holistic solution in proactive security. It's typically an all-in-one solution from attack surface management, web application security testing, goes through network, cloud security posture management, and also credential leak monitoring. This solution helps the small and medium enterprises to increase and kind of improve their security posture. On the other hand, we have another solution which creates the end-to-end solution that we provide to our customers is for large corporations and large enterprises. That specific solution is a third-party risk management, which essentially helps to verify, monitor constantly the vendors, the suppliers, and the business partners, and collaborate with them to increase their security posture.
Wow, that was quick. Thank you. Thank you very much, Jim. Probably a question. What are you building with this platform?
Okay, so we understand, that security is not only for one company, and there is no company that kind of don't have any relationship with another company. So every company is connected with each other. And unfortunately, SMEs, so small and medium enterprises, are usually the weakest link in this chain. And of course, being SME and of course not having the budget, not having the expertise, not having the know-how creates a bigger problem for larger corporations as well. So what we need to provide to this market is some kind of, a collective security. So we kind of increase the security posture and security protection of SMEs and of course the larger enterprises.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So guys, you are just a small representation of the whole program, of all the startups that we have, but I hope you enjoyed their solutions, and thank you very much for being brave and come on stage. So now, of course, we do have some time for, apparently your pitch was pretty quick, so we have some time for questions if there are any from the public. We'll just pass the mic.
I got a question for Resilient X. There's already lots of solutions in your space, right? There's
Yes.
UpGuard, there is Panorase, and lots of others. So how do you set yourself apart?
Of course. So most of the solutions such as, UpGuard, BitSight, Security Scorecard, those are, oriented for large enterprises. First of all, they don't, provide the solution for SMEs at all. And unfortunately, their go-to-market strategy is really, really oriented on enterprise segment. What we actually provide is, an end-to-end solution which can be used also separately as well.
Thank you. Someone else? From the public? Okay, perfect then. Thank you very much, guys. At this point, I might just, if we have some minutes more that we can use. Yes. We have other two friends that would like to join the stage. Integrity, Valdemar. Surprise, a surprise for you guys. At this point, why don't we compare the solutions that your colleague just explained with what you are doing? You can join the main stage, thank you, and you as well, Xavier. Okay. Okay, we have other two startups, Integrity and Ligapass. Why don't you tell us something more about what you do, for example?
All right. Will be super hard to pitch it in a couple of seconds, but what we have developed is basically a decentralized network that is combining a new generation blockchain stack and trusted execution environments as hardware encryption technology to provide a highly scalable decentralized network that is able to process sensitive data as well and stay compliant with all the regulations that are around.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. At this point, we ask you if you have questions. for this kind of solution? Wow, there is a question from the audience. Is the third row. That's the beauty of being live.
What kind of problems does the solution solve? You gave us a solution, but can you give me examples of problem statements that you're solving?
Yeah. So the current thing in Web3 is how do you keep sensitive data really confidential, right? How do you process sensitive data at all? Because everything seems to be transparent, right? And this is something that should help for traditional companies to also enable them to transition from Web3 to from Web2 to Web3.
Thank you very much, Valdemar. So Valdemar, integrity is present on the stage. And Xavier, LegaPass solves another kind of problem. So
yeah, exactly. So what is doing LegaPass? We answer to the question, what happens to your digital data, to your information when you die? Because we speak a lot about digitalization, but we never think about what happens to this digital data when you die. So the thing is, we created an offline safe to archive all this information and transmit during the planning state to your descendant. It's secure, confidential, so the information don't stay on the cloud, and it's really disconnected of the internet. It's outside on offline safe. And we are able to store it on the long term, let's say 20, 30. If you die in 50 years, we can do it as well. And to restore the information and to give it to your pre-designated beneficiary.
wow, that's a long-term commitment.
Yes.
Okay. Questions for this kind of solution? Anything? If not, I have one. So what are the challenges that you faced in deploying this solution?
The main challenges, maybe you don't expect this one, but it's due to the client, to the customer. Everybody will die. But nobody wants to hear this and to prevent from the death. Because people think that if they do some prevention about the data, they will die. But even if you don't do it, you will definitively. So it's kind of complicated to speak about subject of death, even if it's your data, when you sell a product.
Your data, your password, everything.
Everything. Your seed phrase for crypto, everything.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's impressive. That's impressive what they are doing. The chorus they had to come on stage, and mainly the last two that was not expected. Thank you very much, guys.
Can I ask just one question? How do you monetize the project about the digital safe? How do you monetize it? Where money are coming from?
So we have a subscription by month or a lifetime subscription. So lifetime subscription, it's 40 euros all your life. So if you are 30 or 40, it's better to take the lifetime than the subscription by month. But at the end of the day, if you take a subscription, a free subscription, the pre-designated beneficiary will need to pay the fees because we work with some professional that keep the private keys in order not us, LegaPass, to just steal the data.
Okay. That gets complicated. Any questions from the audience? Uh-huh. There is a mic. Sorry.
How does the solution work? Do you basically work like a password manager that gets passed on to, your heir or whoever you assign your user, resident to be?
actually it's an hybrid environment. So we have the cloud part where you just can input your data on the www.legapass.com. Then the data is just encrypted automatically, and then in 1 or 2 hours it go outside, disconnected to the internet. So it's an hybrid things. Does it answer to your question?
Sort of. He's satisfied. Perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Now it's time to move on. It's time to move on this way. It's time to move on to the next panel. So here what we presented to you were young projects and startups that are pretty recent, but let's go through what happens in the journey of an entrepreneur to become a cyber entrepreneur. So, Lenig, Pedron, CEO de la Trust Valley, I'll let you say some words.
I'm so happy to be with you today, and it was super important for us to speak about startup. We do a lot of things in the Trust Valley, but to show to you what we are doing with the innovation. And a second thing is really to show to you how it's possible to become an entrepreneur. We have more and more entrepreneurs in our community. We have nearly 150 startups on board, and they raised 300 million since the beginning of our journey. And right now we have in our incubator 30 startups in the state of Vaud, and it's 15 project in Geneva with a new incubator that we will be inaugurate as in the beginning of June is the
4th of June.
Yeah, the 4th of June. So I'm so happy, so glad to have today with us 3 CIO and founder. I will call on stage with me Valmar, if you want to come again. Thank you. So Valmar Scherer, you are the founder and the CIO of Integrity. We heard of you. Thank you for the water. Thank you very much. And also Roman Korkikan, you are the founder and the CEO of USEC, but you do many things. You work also for clients like Sony and so on. And we're waiting for Najib Awini. I think we will begin without him and continue the discussion. So let's jump on it, please, Flaminia, and ask how its journey for our entrepreneur began and how is right now their story.
Thank you, Lening. Thank you very much. So, Valdemar, you were here before. Thank you for sharing. But now let's go through how you both changed your path, how you got into this journey of being an entrepreneur in a very specific context, that is our context. That's why I'm here today in cybersecurity. I would like to start with Roman, because your journey is pretty significant. So why don't you tell us from the beginning what was your path and how did you end up with the USEC?
Well, I think 25 minutes will not be enough to answer all this question, but I've been working for like 11 or 12 years in a company, in different companies, including Kudelski Security, Altis Semiconductor, and even ST Microelectronics. And I always felt a bit constrained. I always felt that I want to do more or that I can do more. And yeah, that's why I decided one day just to try myself. Since I'm working in pen testing, let's say, direction, it was pretty easy to move from a company to an entrepreneurial life. But basically, answering your question, why I moved from a company to individual company or to entrepreneurship, it's because I felt constrained and I felt like I want to do something more. Plus, it's like a lifestyle. To discover new things. We can continue working 50 years in the same company, but then we will not discover other options in life. Yeah, so in short, it's like this.
Okay, and what are you doing? Let's stay with you. What are you doing now with USEC? Because when we met you, when we joined the Trust Village and the space of the EPFL Innovation Park at the Unlimited Trust Campus, you had some ideas. You were working with hardware technology, so you're on the hardware side. But how did you manage to build up USEC?
So what we do, USEC, we offer security pen testing services, namely side channel and fault attacks. So it's special niche attacks against different devices. And at the end of the day, any algorithm, any blockchain, any AI is running on a concrete device. So your concrete device needs to be secure. Your microcontroller, your communication bus, etc., they need to be secure. And what we do, we try to find attacks using low-level electronics or, let's say, fault injection in the system, which will give us access to your confidential data inside. So we can decrypt your data, we can get some cryptographic keys. That's what we do. It's a service. It's not a product. So since it's a service, you don't need a lot of people to, let's say, to do this kind of business. You need, let's say, knowledgeable people and some equipment. But at the same day, it's not very scalable. So I cannot, let's say, I cannot hire 10 more people and scale. It's not a product. It's a service. So when I joined Unlimited Trust, actually it was a funny story. I just filled the wrong form and I joined Unlimited Trust. I was looking for an office and instead I joined Unlimited Trust. But nowadays, so it's a service, side channel fault attacks against various type of devices, starting from simple microcontrollers to trusted platform models, so more complex stuff. We work with different companies. And also I'm teaching. So I'm teaching at HEG. It's nice to share experience that I have with other people, and also to bring some students to show what I do in real life, so in real attacks. Did I answer your question?
Sort of.
Yes,
we'll go through it again. No.
Right now, I'm super glad to welcome on stage Najib Awini, a super busy entrepreneur because so late. Thank you for coming with us and just to join us, Tagazit. And you are also Najib in the Trust Village, as the same as Roman. And you are with us in this new incubator, but you were with us before we launch this new incubator, and you are working right now in several domains. And how is going with your journey?
Yeah, in fact, I start the journey, just close to the EPFL for people who knows the campus is La Forge. So the first incubator was La Forge. So I started in 2021, just the COVID started. So I was the only guy on the offices when I joined the company. So it was like one office with only me inside. So it was really difficult to launch the company during the COVID period, but it was the decision to start. It was, I think, a good window for me because all people were remote and nobody was in the office. Before I launched the companies, I was CISO, one of the CISO, Chief Security Officer of one of the crypto bank. I think there is 2 crypto bank in Switzerland. I have a license. They have changed the name recently. But I was in this journey, and it was a really exciting journey because cryptocurrency 3 years ago was really going tractions. But I decided to move away from blockchains and crypto and started the UK journey, which is focusing on encryptions and not only a wallet, but only key management. So I'm very familiar with key management because I've been in the space of key management since my beginning of my career, working with big corporations like Thales, Accenture, Gemalto, all the smart card. I did a very large project in the ID space, in the biometric passport, Department of Defense, French passport, ID card for Morocco, and so on. So I know very well the space. And when I decided to start the journey was COVID. So COVID was the trigger.
That's great. We can just go to you, Valdemar. I think what is really interesting too is to see that we have 3 kind of entrepreneur. We have Roman, you begin the story alone and you continue right now. And Najib, you are at a stage of maturity, really close that we call the Series A. And, it's when you are looking for some funding. And, Najib, the first time when I met you said to me, I need, talent. I need, client, and I need funding, money. So it was the first meeting and discussion. And after 6 months, you came and you said to me, "I found talent in the community, and I found some client, though I don't need to have funding." And what is your journey, Waldemar? You are right now in our program to accelerate startup. You are based in Zurich. Yes. How is it going?
I mean, I have a completely different background, I would say, compared to my colleagues here on the left. So my journey started actually as an IT consultant, designing reporting systems for insurance companies. Very regulatory driven, that topic, as insurance companies are equally regulated as banks. So pretty traditional stuff, had nothing to do with cybersecurity back in the days. Before I started to create kind of a small team within Ernst & Young Zurich a couple of years back to look at innovation topics, and one of them was blockchain back in the days. It was around 2017 when blockchain and crypto was more hyped, and we were trying to understand how we can leverage that technology to digitalize processes, right? So it had nothing to do with crypto at all. So just how to bring more efficiency into the processes of traditional companies. That's how I got in touch with blockchain professionally that time. And during that time, I mean, I gained a lot of experience in different projects where I could see behind the curtains of how a company operates, how an insurance company operates, get in touch with different departments, and also taking on more responsibility, growing from the role of being a developer to manage projects, larger programs, getting also more insights into the whole business side. And that helped a lot to become a founder. Even though I didn't plan that time to become a founder, but then we got an opportunity to found the first venture that I was involved with, and that started actually my journey and led to founding Integrity in 2021.
Thank you very much. That's great. Knowing that it was October when we started the new season of the Tech for Trust, you were selected. What was your goal when you applied for the program, and what has the program gave you so far?
The intention was obviously to broaden the network, because I think for a startup, network is essential, and also for those who are thinking about starting a venture, becoming a founder, really network is important. Whether it's someone that can help you on the tech side, on the legal side, on the business side, right? I think Tech for Trust is a very good opportunity for startups to get more exposure, broaden their network in different areas, get support. Something like we get in that program via workshops in different areas like business development, finance, investors, right? So it's a pretty cool opportunity for startups to be part of Tech for Trust.
Thank you. That's nice to hear. Talking about networking, Najib, you are the star. You arrived late as stars do. So, is networking really this important?
I think, I agree. I've seen when I was at Laforge, so very small, early stage of a startup life. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, founders that start the idea without thinking about how they can sell their idea. And most of them have failed. They bankrupt or they stop. So I've seen that, and I told them, how are you going to sell your solutions? Maybe it's amazing solutions. Maybe it's the best one. But do you have customers? Do you have leads? Do you have prospects? Have you built your pipeline of customers? How you will sell it? Me, I have the chance to do a big corporation, so I know the pipeline stage, how to acquire customers. I build my network like you before I create my company, because I think it's the most essential part in your team. You need to have someone that has network, because nobody knows you, nobody knows who you are, nobody trusts you. So you need to have a network. When I say network, it's just not to have only an Excel file with name. You need to have friends as a customers. I will say friends because all my first customers, they are friends of me. I know them and they trust me, especially in cyberspace. In cybersecurity, do you think my two first customers, they will give me a project where I say, hey guys, I will encrypt all your data, be safe with me. Do you think they will give me the project without having the trust to me or the trust to my capability and capability to the company to execute? No. You need to build a strong network, a trust network. That's the first advice for early founders or for entrepreneurs. And this advice, I really insist, is the most important one. After the other, we will speak later on. But this one is really important.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think it's the same. Do you want to add something?
No, I fully agree.
Roman, I think you are also an example of this, right? Passing from one company to the other and being able to pen test them. So like to actually work on the hardware solution. So trust is fundamental. And same question for you. Did it help you to have a network that sustained you? Did you get anything from this ecosystem that you joined during your journey?
Well, the short answer is yes, of course. So first of all, Unlimited Trust and Trust Village, it's the only place to be if you have a security startup in Switzerland. It's the only place. You cannot go anywhere else. Before Trust Valley, Unlimited Trust, Trust Village, I've been in Roll, and I've been renting a place among accountants and people working with legislation. It's totally different. So once I moved to Unlimited Trust, network become easier to create. Interested people in your solutions were like, how do you say it? Word to mouth, ear to mouth. People were transferring information about your company to other colleagues. So network is crucial. But apart from network, you also have some other crucial elements to create a successful startup. Surprisingly, it's support of other people, so it can be friends and family. So I'm very grateful for having both good friends who are helping me to create the company and good family who is supporting me this. So there are many elements in startup which is important, but network is mandatory for the business, and Unlimited Trust helps in network creation a lot.
Thank you. Let's go to Valdemar. I wanted to ask him a question first. In order to become a cyber entrepreneur, even if at an early stage, you need to get some money, right? Because this is, at the end of the day, this is what brings the company going. So sales, as Najib said, are super important. But talking about investments, talking about how did you raise funds, what are you currently doing for your company to go to the next level?
First of all, I would split that question into two parts. So first of all, I think it is super important to understand, so before you're launching any kind of company or project, what problem are you solving? Is there a need in the market, right? And is it a company that has to raise money or not, right? So as Roman, for example, explained, he's able to scale with a couple of people, right? Offering a service. And sometimes if you're able to already acquire a big customer, for example, you can scale organically without relying on external funding, right? So totally different path. Totally different story. In our case, it was different. So we actually knew that our topic is quite capital heavy. So we needed to raise some money. In the first days, we got some grants that helped us to develop the first prototypes of our technology. And afterwards, when we got to the stage that we have already something that proves that our technology is working, right? Then we started the process of raising money. Especially in the blockchain and the crypto space, raising money back in the days was much easier with investors from Asia mainly. That's what helped us to grow at the early stage, because many of them are more crypto driven, have more experience in the crypto world. So Asia is quite ahead of us in the Western world in terms of investment into crypto and blockchain related companies, for sure. That's something where we have to keep up here in the West. And that helped us to get through the first stages, let's say it that way.
Okay. But I know that someone didn't have to raise money, right? And for someone, I'm talking about Najib and about the journey of DuoKey. Actually, you're bootstrapped. So tell us, how did you do that, right? Sounds like a miracle.
Yeah, yes and no. In fact, we start the journey without raising any money because we get traction. I remember when we selected for the Tech for Trust. It was the day of the announcement of the winner, right? And I was signing my first contract with the big companies during the day. I was not there. I was in Interlaken, and I've been awarded third place at Tech for Trust, and I was signing my first big contract. And then I don't need money because I signed a 6-digit contract, first one for 6 digits. It's amazing. It helped me to bootstrap the company. Few months before, I was looking for money, and I get zero. Most of the VCs, we can't give you money because you are a solo entrepreneur. I was the only, let's say, founders, and they do not give money when you have one guy. Most of the time, they say, no, it's too risky. We can't grant you money. So, okay, fine. So I signed my contract. 3 months later, they say, we are interested to invest in your company. It's too late. Sorry, guys. It was 3 months before, because then when you get money, you don't need to raise money, right? Because you pay salary, you pay the bill, I will say. And then you have what you said, organic growth, crazy growth. We have won the best growing startup award in France, Europe, cybersecurity startup. So this also gives us a lot of traction. But now we are in the stage where we need to do. You mentioned Series A. It's like we are doing fundraising with 8 digit. So we are going to raise 8-digit figures to accelerate our growth. And we need to raise money for 2 reasons. I need to recruit maybe 50 people here, maybe all of you. I need to have you in my team. How much you cost, you think, for 50 people? It costs a lot of money because you need to pay the payroll at the end of the month. And I don't have the liquidity, and people know, all entrepreneurs knows that liquidity is the key things to grow. If you have no liquidity, no growth. So I asked the bank, hey, can you give me money? I need money for recruiting. You know what the bank asks you to do? They ask you all your customer contract, all your strategy, all your business plan, everything. I said, no, this is confidential. I will not ask you. I will not give you anything for my company. So this is, we have to grow. We have to raise money now.
Okay. Stage of growing. And yes, as Najib said, it was a pleasure to see that this year, 3 of the startups that belong to the Tech for Trust in a way or in another got a recognition from the InCyber Forum, so the FIC that happened in Lille this year, in which you won the 3rd place, but with the growth, like exponential growth it was, right?
Yeah.
That was the title.
The best, I think 2 startups from the Tech for Trust won an award today.
There was Sapporo.
3.
There was Sapporo. There was Snowpack, which Sapporo is a Swiss company. You probably know it. Those of you who are local that belong to the ecosystem. Snowpack is a French company that last year arrived 2nd in the Tech for Trust acceleration program. All this information are on the website. So don't retain names. Just go to the website. And DuoKey.
Yeah, I remember when I started the Trust Valley journey, I remember some criticism about what is this program? It's not useful. Why do you need this program? I said, no, look, for me, I don't have a marketing team, to be clear, right? So when I start the program, I say I need to have visibility. 0 visibility means 0 customers. To be clear, you have, as I said, you have best product, but 0 visibility. Nobody knows you. And now I can tell you, I was in San Francisco last week, and I go back next week. People know Trust Ecosystem, Trust Village. DuoKey is known in San Francisco. I was like, oh, how do you know DuoKey? because visibility with the Swiss ecosystem, the Swiss Embassy, Swissnex, Trust Valley, they do a lot of events. Then it gives you visibility abroad. Even in Germany. You know how my first customers find my name on LinkedIn? Because they saw a Trust Valley post and they saw that I've been awarded a Tech for Trust award. And this is how they contacted me for a meeting. Without this LinkedIn post, 0 customers.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But this is why we are recording.
I hope it's still free for me.
No, but actually not. It's not free anymore for you because this is the journey that a cyber entrepreneur like Najib went through, from being a startup to scaling and then giving back to the ecosystem. So now Najib is actually sponsoring the Trust Valley, and it's among the companies actively paying to be part of it, to give back to the ecosystem what we hoped you achieved.
And you support also other startup right now. It's you invest on another startup come from the ecosystem. It's really that we want to show to you today. It's really important to have this ecosystem and to work together and to make what we call some peer-to-peer. Maybe you want to explain a little.
Some peer-to-peer connections. 2 of them just left, but as they are Italian, they started talking, and you know how we do in Italy. And actually, they found some common interest. And mostly, what happens in cybersecurity mostly is that you find some not only some common ground, but some technologies that are that fit one to the other. So this is what happens. This is what we are seeing more and more as we set up the 2 incubators, one at the Unlimited Trust campus by SICPA in Prilly, and the second one dealt by the EPFL Innovation Park at the Campus Biotech. So this is what we are seeing on a regular basis. 15 startups at the Trust Village in Geneva and 30, including the alumni, in Vaud. Means peer-to-peer business, helping each other, investing in each other's solution, and new synergies that happens that are created from that.
Just to add a point, which is a concrete example, me and Roman didn't say that, but we collaborate together. He specializes in hardware security. I'm not hardware expert. I get to have some hardware pen test. The office, I convinced Roman to move from Roll to Trust Village. I remember I was visiting you at Roll. So I say, okay, Roman, I'd like you to work with you, but it's too far away. Can you move to the Trust Village? You move it. And now we collaborate together. We are 2 startups. We collaborate each other. I collaborate with another one, which is like 5 meters from my offices. And this is the synergy. And I signed like 3-4 contracts with all the startups together because it's really the close ecosystem. And this is really good for us because we are not able to do everything, right? We are doing one thing good. So if you need expertise, you have the expert just close to you. You just outsource the expertise.
So it's not actually become a cyber entrepreneur, it's how to be lazy with your partners. So getting all your potential partners and customers as close as possible. Okay. Some other questions probably from Valdemar. So you are at the beginning of the journey. What do you see as next steps from the experience you got? But what is, if you see in the future, what are your future steps to become a cyber entrepreneur?
Well, after getting the company off the ground, right, getting some first traction. So we're also generating already some revenue with a few clients. We got now to a stage where our technology is really, let's say, able to run with productive cases, right? And now we are at a stage where we want to grow. So we will focus less on developing the core technology. Of course, we will try to make it even better, make it easier to use, right? Enhance it, but the core technology is there. It's running, it's functioning. And now it's really about growth, getting more traction from more customers, doing more business development, attending more conferences, roadshows, spread the word about us, about our technology, And that's the next major step.
Next step. This is why we are recording this session, by the way, just to spread the message. And so just I think we have some minutes, so some conclusions, and then if there are questions from the public, happy to take them. Romain, so you said the business is not about scalability because it's a service, it's not a product. But what do you see as next steps for you at this point? You joined the ecosystem. You are next door now. Now that you got this good customer, what do you see next?
Well, there is a concrete plan of what I need to do next, but I don't see the final goal of the company. It's more about a journey. It's more about having fun during this project, let's say. So far, the project was successful, survived 3 years, which is very good. I'm not asking for any money, for any investment. I'm just enjoying life, more or less. So that's the best
suggestion ever. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So continue enjoying life in a way.
Okay.
It's a big plan for the company. Meanwhile, yes, I do pen testing services, improving my client portfolio, giving marketing talks, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate goal is to have fun.
I think that's a great conclusion.
Okay, so thank you. The time is out. So thank you so much for being with us. And we're still here, and our entrepreneurs are here. Also, if you have some question and if you want to start on you to become also an entrepreneur, as we said, we have the community. Just come and discuss with us. Thank you so much, and thank you to all our entrepreneurs. Thank you for being with us. Bye.
Thank you very much.